Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the New Orleans Kings franchise. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to change it to just Kings going forward. And let's just take a look at how our guys are doing to start the season. Now, we are not doing well. David Bodie and Kyle Tucker lead our team in average. They're the only two hitters hitting over 250, and they're not hitting 300 at all. Kyle Tucker is the closest at about 280. But looking at the rest of our guys, I mean, we have a ton of guys hitting around 200. I mean, that's not good. The issue is we don't have the talent in the organization to move guys up to replace these guys. We have a couple of prospects, but I do not want to ruin their growth just with how our team is doing morale-wise, and it could affect how they do progress. So I'm not going to rush anybody up. But, you know, looking at our starting rotation, Jose Urquidy is probably doing the best right now at 1-4, though, but he's got a 118 whip, and that's pretty good. But coming out of the bullpen, our bullpen's actually doing not bad. Brad Peacock is having a great year in 25 innings pitched. He's got a .80 whip, 26 strikeouts and 3 walks. I mean, he's having an amazing year. I do have a lot of these guys on the trade block just in case we get offers. So we will have to see what we get for them. Like I said, I want to develop through the farm system and kind of go from there. So you are going to face Corbin Martin on the mound for the Diamondbacks here, as we are 30 games, exactly 29 into the season. Then we're going to put Cy Snead on the mound. He is 0-5. He's about 64 overall or so. So this is kind of his last chance here as he goes up against the Diamondbacks. So up comes the former Astro. That is going to be George Springer leading off for the Diamondbacks. He grounds out, and that brings up Nick Ahmed, who hits one deep to right field, and that one is going to be over the right fielder's head. I'm sure Clint Frazier probably lost the ball in the sun or something. He takes a wrong step. Anyway, that would have made it over his head. So that brings up Ketel Marte, who's hitting in the 3 spot, hitting about 280 on the year. He hits one to the left side, and that one will sneak through the hole, and that is going to be a throw home, but the runner does stay at third base. As that brings up Starling Marte, hitting 264 on the season. That's going to be a breaking ball in the dirt, but that's going to be a throw to second by Stubbs, and he does get the runner going to second. And there we go. Now we have 2 outs here as the at-bat does continue. A chopper to third base does make it past Zach Cozart, and that is going to be the first run of the game for the Diamondbacks, and they will take the 1-run lead. So now with 2 outs, here is Cy Snead getting Walker to watch a pitch on the inside part of the plate. A 19-pitch inning for him. And that brings up our offense here in the second inning. There is Mark Trumbo at the plate. And that one just catches the corner there. And that was a questionable strike on that one, as that brings up the next batter. That is going to be a hit to left field, and that is going to be a single here with 1 out. And now guy on first base with Leonis Martin at the plate. Let's see what he can do. He hits a chopper to second, and it's going to just be a tailor-made ground ball into the double play. And no damage done in that inning, as they do turn 2 as we move on to the top of the 5th. Here is Zach Cozart at the plate, and he's going to watch one on the outside part of the plate, and he does lead us off here with the walk. So up comes the dynamic catcher, Garrett Stubbs, who hits one deep to right field, and that one is going to be back at the warning track, and it's going to be caught. And we should have known, by the way, that right fielder was jogging. That's actually Marte and right. He runs that one down. As that brings up Snead here, and he is just going to strike out swinging. We did not want to pinch hit with him because he's been pitching pretty good through 5 innings. So now we move on to the 5th inning. He's got about 70 pitches thrown in this one. Here he gives up a hit to center field, and that one does make it all the way to the wall, as Leonis Martin does let it get to the wall, but he does get it in before George Springer makes it to third. That brings up the second batter in the lineup. That's Ahmed, who hits one down the left field line, and that one is going to get all the way to the wall, and they are going to make it 2-0 here in the 5th inning. As Snead has not been pitching too bad, but up comes Ketel Marte, who gets a low breaking ball. He just takes this one right back up the middle, and it's 3-0 here in the 5th. No outs still in this inning, and now the Diamondbacks look like they're starting to catch fire. Up comes Starling Marte. He's going to watch one low, and now Cy Snead is starting to get a little bit tired, so we bring in Pat Neshek out of the bullpen, and he isn't doing too great to start the year, He is an older guy. I believe he's 38 with A potential though, so he might be a guy I'll be looking to deal before the deadline. So now with bases loaded, here is Carson Kelly at the plate. But take a look. There is a wild pitch on that one. It must have been kind of just hitting off of a Stubbs' glove on that one. But look at that lollipop throw he threw back to Neshek. And that one does score a run. It makes it 4-0 as this inning does continue with bases loaded, or actually guys on second and third, as now they bring up 2 outs in the inning. And we do get the ground out to first. I'm not lobbing that one. I'm running that one to the bag this time. And it's going to be 4-0 here as we move on to the top of the 6th inning. So here is David Bodie, who we acquired in last episode. He's going to hit one deep to right center, and that one is going to be back at the track, and it does get over the outstretched glove of Marte, Ketel Marte in center. And that is going to be a double here with 2 outs. Let's see if Trumbo can drive him in. He hits one hard to first base, and that one is going to be snagged. And it's going to be an out as we are getting shut out here in this game. So up comes Clint Frazier, who was actually hitting pretty well. He is platooning for the most part, but I'm thinking about starting him full time. He hits the ball really well. I believe he's 3rd right now in average, looking at how we're doing and looking at Mike Leake coming out of the bullpen. I kind of like what I see from Clint Frazier. He's actually got decent speed. 53 is decent. It's not fast, obviously, but it's not too slow. So now we got guys on first and second here with Zach Cozart at the plate. Let's see what he can do. He swings that one out of the zone, and he gets a ground ball to short, and he is going to beat out the double play. And now we got guys on the corners here with Garrett Stubbs, the catcher, at the plate. He check swings on an outside off-speed pitch, and he's not going to go around. So bases loaded here. And that's going to bring up Melky Cabrera, who's hitting in the 9-hole, hitting .222 on the year. He hits a fly ball to left field, and we are going to tag up on this one. Let's see if Clint Frazier can beat this one out. And it's a perfect throw at home. And wow, that is going to end that inning. We are still getting shut out as we eventually do put 1 run on the board. But it seems like it may be a little too late here in this game as Frazier comes back to the plate. Grounds 1 out to second, and that brings up Zach Cozart in a 7-1 game. 2 outs in the 9th inning, and we will ground out, and that one will do it here versus Arizona as we do fall to them, and we lose yet another game. Our offense kind of let us down in this one. I feel like Snead was pitching all right, but I just don't think he has enough. He gave up 9 hits in this game. That's definitely not going to cut it, and Arizona had 14 total. As you can just see, our offense didn't do too well as well. I mean, we only had 5 hits in this game, and that ends up being a loss. So now we move on to the next series here, and we're facing Seattle to end the month of April and to start the month of May. And now let's see, we are in a critical situation here with Malik Smith at the plate. He's going to swing at one in the dirt, and that is going to advance the runner D. Gordon to second base. So now bottom of the 9th here with 1 out with a chance to win the game. A base hit will win it for the Mariners. Outside pitch, and they do get enough wood on that one, and that one will drop in. Malik Smith comes through for the Mariners, and they do win the first game here in this 4-game set, as that is how the month of April ends, and we do get the loss. But look at the hit total. 3 hits. I mean, those are the type of games we're having here. Kyle Tucker, who's actually leading our team in average, comes through with a 3 RBI home run in that game. But we actually do end up winning the next 4 games. Then we end up splitting. Well, actually, we dropped 2 of 3 from the Kansas City Royals. And then we split with the Mariners. So we didn't do too bad to start out the month of May. I'm actually kind of pleased there. So now we're 14-27. So I want to check in on Cy Snead to see how he's doing, and he's just not doing well. A 2.41 whip, 0-7 on the year, 30 innings pitched, just not good enough. I'm going to drop him down to AAA. His overall does drop with that morale, but I need to see some more progression out of him. I think I'm going to keep him there for the rest of the season because we just don't have, many options, and we just don't want to keep losing like this. I mean, if the 5th guy in the rotation is 0-7, I mean, you got to make a change, and it just seems like that's the necessary change. So then we look into free agency just for some options here because we want to be realistic here. And there are some better guys in free agency, but those are computer generated guys. Those are just like, minor leaguers that they throw into free agency that are just good. I'm not going to sign those guys. It's just not realistic and they aren't real players. So I will settle on Andrew Cashner. He is a decent starter and honestly in the 5th spot in the rotation just for this year. I think it's good enough. It's better than Cy Snead, to be honest, so we will get that upgrade in the rotation. So now we're sitting here kind of at the 40 game mark, 41 game to be exact. The Royals are 20-20. We will go back home. And one of you guys in the comment section suggested that we use the Metrodome as our home stadium because it will simulate the Superdome. I believe that is an excellent idea. We will use that here this season, and then I will get the official change after this season. So right now we're going to be playing in the Metrodome. Let's just call it the Superdome. So here we are starting it out in the first inning, and the first batter of the game will hit one to left field. Kyle Tucker comes up diving, and we have to be careful because sometimes when they dive like that, they do get injured. So I definitely do not want to get injured here with Kyle Tucker, as he is kind of our future in the outfield. So the next batter comes up, and there is another hit up the middle, and it's 1-0 here already for the Royals. And up comes Salvador Perez here with 2 outs in the inning, and he cannot get a run in on that one. So the Royals strike first in this one. As we move on to the top of the second, here's Alex Gordon at the plate. He's going to watch one low, and that is going to be a walk on that one, as that brings up Bubba Starling to the plate here with 1 out. He's going to go to right field. So now they got guys on first and second here with 1 out in the inning. That brings up Jose Peraza, who got the game started with that leadoff double. He hits one to left center, and that one is going to be run down by Kyle Tucker. So now 2 outs here in the inning. That's going to bring up Josh Reddick, who already has an RBI in this game. He hits one up the middle, and that one sneaks through the infield. It looks like he's going to have his second RBI of the game, and he will. And the throw is not going to be on target. Either way, it's 2-0 here in this game. And now Whit Merrifield comes to the plate. He's hitting in the 3-hole, 3-2 count, 2 outs, and he hits one down the left field line. And Kyle Tucker does have the speed to run that one down. And we do get out of that inning, but another RBI for Reddick that time. And now we move on to the bottom of the second. Here is Bodie at the plate, but he's going to hit one to right field. I believe that was actually Clint Frazier. And now that brings up Melky Cabrera. Here, he hits one down the left field line, and that one is going to be a single here as we try to stretch it to a double, but we second-guess that and go back to first. So now that brings up to Leonis Martin to the plate. He hits one hard down the right field line. That one is going to reach all the way to the wall. So now we got guys on second and third here off of the double by Martin. And now that brings up Tim Beckham here with 2 outs. Let's see if he can deliver for this offense. He hits one hard to shortstop, and it can't get corralled by the shortstop that time, and that one will make it through. 2-2 off of the bat of Tim Beckham. He comes through in the clutch. He definitely needs to have some type of streak going here because he is not doing well. And that brings up Garrett Stubbs, the catcher, and he will hit one to Merrifield at second base. And that one is going to tie this game up. So now we move on to the top of the 4th inning. Here is Jose Urquidy still on the mound facing the first batter of the inning, and that's going to be a leadoff single here for the Royals. As that brings up the top of the lineup here, Peraza and both Reddick have been lighting us up in this game, and there's another hit by Peraza. And we tried to go to first on that one. I think we could have had it if Trumbo was covering. And that brings up Whit Merrifield hitting in the 3-hole. He hits one up the middle here with 2 outs, and that one will score another runner. And now it is 3-2 here through the first 4 innings of this game, as that does bring up Jorge Soler in the 4th spot, and he's going to hit one down the right field line. That's an easy pop-up, and we are going to get out of this inning, but another run doing is now we move on to the 5th inning. Hunter Dozier at the plate this time. He's going to hit one deep to center field, and that one is going to get to the wall, and it does bounce off as we do play it off the wall with Martin. He comes up throwing, and that is going to be a leadoff double here in the 5th inning for Hunter Dozier. And now with no outs still in the inning, Salvador Perez comes up. He's 1 for 2. He's going to hit one hard up the middle, and it's going to reach center field, and it's going to be a hit. And that one is going to drive in another run. So 4-2 here for the Royals. And now still 1 out in the inning. Alex Gordon comes up to the plate. He hits one deep to right field. And remember, we have that big, tall wall in right field. It's going to bounce off, and we are going to come up throwing here. And that is going to be a great throw to the cutoff man. And look at this. We have him by about 6 steps on that. And it's a great play by Clint Frazier in right field. And now 2 outs here in the inning. Man on second base. And there's going to be a grounder up the middle, and it will be fielded, and Scooter throws the first, but it's going to be a single here. Is now guys on first and third. Peraza 2 for 3 in this one. He hits a little blooper to center, and that one is going to drop. So another single, another run scored here for the Royals in this one. And that is going to make it 5-2 as we do pull our man Arcidi in that one. On that one, and that's going to bring in John Schreiber. So now with 2 outs here in the inning, he does get a line out to left field. And now we are in a hole once again. Our offense needs to come through. So here is Tim Beckham, who's already 1 for 1 in this game. He hits one hard up the middle, and that one will sneak through the infield. Hopefully that gets his season going, as he started out slow, like I said earlier. And that's going to bring up Garrett Stubbs, who's hitting in the 9 hole. He's hitting below 200 on the year, too, but he gets a hit up the middle. So hopefully this starts something here in the 5th inning, as now we got guys on first and second here. Kyle Tucker at the plate. One swing of the bat. He could tie it up, but he does hit one to left center, and that one will sneak all the way to the wall. It will score 2. Let's see what Kyle Tucker does. He rounds second and heads to third, but no, he thinks about it twice. And he does get thrown out at second base, as that brings up Scooter Gennett here now with 2 outs. He watches one low in the zone, and that one will be a backwards K on that one. As we move on to the 6th inning, here's David Bodie at the plate. He's going to hit one deep to left field. Let's see if it has the legs, and it does just reach the warning track, and it bounces over the wall for his 8th double of the season. And the Kansas City Royals are going to go to their bullpen. They're going to bring in some relief out of the bullpen, and that's going to bring up Mark Trumbo, who's going to hit one to right center, and that one will make it all the way to the wall, and we will tie this game up 5-5 here in this game. And there we go. Trumbo finally comes through. He's been struggling as well, and he is 1 for 3. Actually, you know what? That was Clint Frazier. So now that brings up the next batter. That is Trumbo, and he's going to hit one to left field, and that is going to be out here, as now we move on to the later parts of this game. Tim Hill comes in here in the 9th inning, as we actually do surrender 2 more runs to the Royals, and now we find ourselves in a hole once again, and we just cannot crawl our way out of this one, and we are just not hitting the ball well, to be honest. In situational hitting, I mean, this is what we've come to. And look at our pitching. We gave up 20 hits in this game. I mean, that is just sad. And we lose 7-5 only. I mean, a 20-hit game, we would have thought it would have been worse than that. So now we just quick manage the next game, and let's just see what we do in this one when we're not controlling. And it looks like, look at that, we do take the 5-2 lead. And let's see if we can close out this game. Rogelio Armenteros goes the distance, and we do bring in some help there in the 9th, and Brad Peacock gets the save, and Rogelio Armenteros gets the win. 8 strikeouts, 8 innings pitched. He pitched a gem in that game. So now we are 16-28, and we're facing the New York Yankees here in a 3-game set here towards the end of the month of May. The draft is coming soon, and let's just see what Andrew Kashner can do in his first start. So we kick this one out in the 3rd inning. He does get the first batter judged a strikeout swinging on the outside pitch, but here Gleyber Torres hits one deep to center field, and that one is going to bounce off of the wall. It's going to clear the bases pretty much, and that is going to be a double, a RBI 2-run double. And now they take the 2-0 lead, as that's going to bring up Stanton to the plate. He's going to ground out, though, and that's going to be a nice throw from Cozart to first base. And now we find ourselves in a hole as that brings up Scooter Gennett here in the 4th inning. He's going to check swing on that one, and he's not going to go around. So now we have a man on first base here with 1 out here in the inning as that brings up Zach Cozart. He gets a hanger across the middle of the plate, and he goes down the left field line. Let's see if Scooter Gennett has the wheels. We're going to try to send him, but we won't at the last second. The throw did get in it, did get to the cutoff man. And now we got guys on 2nd and 3rd here. Jamie Ritchie, the backup catcher, is starting in the place of Stubbs this game. He hits one hard to the shortstop, and that's a great play by Torres. And he comes up throwing, and that is going to be an out at first base as that brings up Leones Martin here. He gets one over the middle of the plate. He hits one to right field, and we will send the runner here. Let's see if we can be aggressive on the base pass. The throw is not going to be in time, so we do tie this one up at 2 apiece. And Cozart showing some hustle on that one. And the manager is going to approach the mound on that one. He's going to bring up Kyle Tucker here with 2 outs, but he's just going to pop up here in the infield. And we will tie this game up at 2 apiece, though. But later in the game, we struggle some more. Now down 6-3. Tim Beckham at the plate. Let's see what he can do. He's been hitting the ball pretty well. 2 for 3 in this game, and he hits a perfect fly ball deep to center field. That one is going to be gone, and it's a home run, 427 feet, his 6th home run of the season. But yet it's a little too late, as now we move on to the 9th inning. Now in a 7-4 hole, and Kyle Tucker swings at some high heat. Aroldis Chapman is in the game now. And that brings up Mark Trumbo, and he is going to swing and miss at a low sinker, and that one will seal this game. As now the Kings, I'm just going to call them the Kings now, we do fall to the Yankees. We do actually get 10 hits in this one, so that was kind of good enough to win. But I think, like I said, our situational batting is definitely has to improve. And like I said, we are just kind of building from within here. Not going to make too many trades. We're going to be realistic. But I got to be honest. I like what I see from our younger guys like Bodie. Frazier now is hitting the ball well. And Kyle Tucker is also. But our older guys, we definitely need work at pretty much every single position except for maybe the 3 positions that I just noted. So we will need to build something here. And I think next episode we will look at some of our minor league prospects and maybe even get to the draft a little bit. I do want to get to the draft and just see what we have working with going forward. So that's going to do it here in this episode. We do lose to the Yankees, and let's see what we can do in the next episode with building from within and hopefully getting some prospects, some good ones. So hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah, they filling out these job applications. Life got hard after high school graduation. I went to college and your boy got financial aid. They gave me money, then I went and bought a pair of J's. And I bought a pair of shades. And I bought a new computer. Had $400 left, spent the rest on